I am so nervous. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. Hello. Okay, so first of all, if I could have lunch with any celebrity, it would be Abraham. But then I wouldn't know how many chairs to put out. So
One.
just okay. So this all leads up to a question, and I feel like it's my last question ever. You've
We know.
Unless I start nitpicking. You've talked about the existence of past lives even today, right? We go through the lives, we go back to wherever, and we hold our kid's hand, and then we come back. So
I'm going to give you something, a sort of bombshell we would like you to take home with you today and remember forevermore. Everything that you've lived before, your inner being has taken the advantage of it with. And so everything that you've ever lived has produced an understanding that your inner being now stands as a possessor of it. So the only thing, when you speak of past life, we would like to call the only past life that is worth calling past the present life that you are currently living, because what is already past tense, and anything that you've lived before, the best part of it is with your inner being, so it's present tense. So the only past that is really worth letting go of is the current what is, because the current what is what's holding you back from your eternal expansion. And if you got that, you're ready for everything.
thank you. Thus, the last question I have. So, if we do a past life regression, or if a psychic tells us about a past life, if it's seen somehow, or it can be real or not real, doesn't matter.
First of all, a psychic could not pick up on it unless it was active in your vibration. So it's not past, it's present.
All right. So, whatever we're seeing is our vibration of the moment, regardless whether it was real or not.
It's real, but you don't know if it's yours or the psychic's.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, now, I have recently had psychics tell me this is going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to happen, and it does. I get that that's how I'm vibrating, right? And if I were to change my vibration now, that future would not happen
So
anymore.
this is someone who's very tapped into energy, who is anticipating what's coming. In other words, this is what we were saying about your inner being, that your inner being knows where you stand in relationship to everything that you want. And so there's this psychic emission that you are offering that the universe is responding to, law of attraction is responding to, and sometimes you can sense it and sometimes others can see it.
Okay, good, because this is helping lead to the question. So I have heard, and this is where I think I'm getting off, I've heard that all time has happened at once, right? Because time is not linear. You talk about expansion. Expansion
Well,
is A to
that's just
B.
humans trying to explain stuff that they can't explain. Because it's clear that what is happening now is the leading edge. And so here and now, in other words, it's true that everything that matters is happening here and now. And it's true that when you're thinking about the past, you're doing it here and now. And it's true that when you're thinking about the present, you're doing it here and now. So all of your power is here and now. But there was that which you lived before. And the best way that we can explain the continuum of life is by saying that it is more now than it was then, and it will be more later than it is now, because the universe is continuing to expand. And if you don't try to put it in terms of time, then it's easy to get that sense of evolution and expansion and progression.
Good. Yes, thank you. So here's the first half of the question. Have future lives been lived?
Future lives have been lived in a vibrational stance. In other words, your inner being is living your future life vibrationally, and you are in the process of warming up to it until you match the vibration so that it can manifest. How are thoughts turning to things? Thoughts are turning to things because of your realization of the vibration that causes you to translate it into things. You think that this is reality, but what it is your vibrational interpretation. And so because you happen to be vibrationally interpreting similarly, you call it a reality. And we don't disagree with that. The more people who are vibrationally interpreting similarly, the more that reality is reality. That's why scientists want everybody to agree on what they're seeing before they allow themselves to move forward. But there is a vibrational reality that is being lived by your inner being, and you are being given constant guidance so that you can realize the vibrational components of that, so that you can translate them into the more tangible, because it is more satisfying. Isn't the leading edge more satisfying? Don't you want to see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it? Don't you want your dreams to become reality? Don't you want to walk on that beach that you've envisioned and feel that water on your feet? Don't you want the visceral experience of it? Your inner being does, and is having it.
Yeah, I wanted the Egg McMuffin I had on the road trip here, which I felt so guilty for, and I want to not feel that guilt, but I wanted the pleasure, so I get that. So,
A little aside there.
so the future lives that have been lived vibrationally, if I'm shifting my...
The future that is being lived vibrationally. In other words, it's future, but it is so vibrationally present that you could have it right now. That's that quantum leap that you were reaching for earlier. That's that quantum leap. That's the shift. That's the vibrational, emotional shift that is necessary. Once it has been given vibrational birth, the ability for it to be a physical, see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, reality is real. You've just got to get to that place that you can translate it into the impulse.
So as my now changes, so does my future change, because it's...
Yes, even if in your now you're exploring unwanted contrast, your future is benefiting by it. Because when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want.
So stories of future and stories of past are the same, kind of.
Give us more.
Let's say...
All of your power is here and now. Let's just start there. Doesn't matter if you're exploring the past or what you call the future, you're doing it right here and now. The only question that you really want to ask is my exploration of whatever identical with the exploration that my source is having, or am I deviating from that source perspective? And as you feel your way into your source perspective, then what you're calling vibrational reality then becomes, boom, physical reality, where other people can see it too.